another ski injury related talk. So as most people by now know, Lindsey Vonn tore her ACL, but I don't even want to talk about that very much. But it reminded me that she's a great example to discuss joint preservation versus joint replacement, because she had a partial knee replacement a few years ago, and it clearly worked incredibly well. I mean, she made it to the Olympics with a replacement. That's a first. So why don't we always replace knees? Why do we bother with cartilage transplants, meniscus transplants, osteotomies? They do have a significantly harder recovery than just replacing it. The reason why we bother is that a mechanical thing like a replacement limits your options. If you had a replacement, I can tell you what your next surgery will be. It'll be another replacement, and generally a bigger one. So you go from a partial to a complete, from a complete to another complete, but now it's a revision situation, so the outcomes are not as good as the first full knee replacement, and so on. If you are in your 50s or 60s when you start this process, then you're probably okay, because let's say you start with a partial, then you keep that maybe till your mid-60s, you have one revision to a total, hopefully you're good. But if you start that process earlier, let's say in your 20s, then you may end up needing 3-4 revisions in your lifetime, and that's definitely not good. They become more complicated and the outcomes become less good. And that's where joint preservation comes in. Joint preservation is a bridging option. I wish I could promise that if we do an osteotomy in your 20s, you'll never need another surgery, but I can't. In fact, you most likely will have another surgery. And in fact, you probably will have a knee replacement, but you will have that knee replacement later in life. So you start that ticking clock later in life. And with a joint preserving surgery, I can't tell you what your next surgery is. It could be anything, because you're not really burning any bridges or limiting options. The next thing may be an injection if we have some cool new thing that regrows cartilage, or a pill, or even if it is a knee replacement and you delay it for 15 years, it'll be a whole new generation of better knee replacements. So that's the value in joint preservation. It's just, you kick the can down the road, we treat your symptoms, you can be active, and you benefit from whatever we discover in the years to come. Thanks very much.